Hey kids, Grumpy Man here. So we're at an Indian event in Saint Mathias d'Orchier in Quebec. You can see a nice sign there. So this is what I'm going to be testing now. It's a Indian Chief Dark Horse Thunderstroke 111. So it's 1800 cc's. It's got 111 foot-pounds of torque at 3000. That's pretty nice. Beautiful bike. 777 pounds. It's got the Indian in the front that lights up, so that adds about 1,000 horsepower. Horsepower actually is not rated, so this is like the basic model of the Dark Horse. So I'm gonna just shut off for a sec. Price says what? 21,000 Canadian. This one doesn't have any accessories on it. The seat here is like sitting on a lazy boy. It's pretty comfy. I'm gonna see what it's like to drive, so I'll be back in a minute. Hey kids, so we're back. Keyless entry. I guess they've hidden the fob somewhere. So let's just get the RPM. Yeah. Oh, this thing is like a lazy boy. So 2018 Indian Chief Dark Horse, 1800 cc's of fun. So this one's a bit different. So the cylinder head is right here, so I'm curious to see how hot it's going to get. This is an air-cooled bike. Let's see. It's a bunch of old guys here on this ride, so try and be careful. This one has proper mirrors. I'm gonna be towards the back this time. Yeah, this is it's a real nice bike. Hey. So this is the bigger engine. This is the 1800, like I said. Clutch is really nice takeoff. So compared to I was just on that bike, the bobber, so this is a big difference. This one you're really sitting back, more the real cruiser. Yeah, this group is a bit scary. And we're off. Let's see who's gonna be where. Yeah, I got like. This guy's not used to riding in a group, maybe. The cold air feels nice. Well, just air. So this thing has got the same kind of dash setup. You got an analog speedometer, and you can switch through things. This does have cruise control right here. Beautiful. And that's about it. It's not a. These bikes aren't about gizmos and. Of course, the full dress touring models, they have stereos and stuff. This is about just, well, looking good, I guess, and cruising. Yeah, this seat is really soft. So we're We're just tooling along. Doo, 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 doo. So this is more of a traditional cruiser engine type. So I believe this is only 2 valves per cylinder. It's air cooled. So this is more of a lots of torque down low, not a lot of horsepower. This is more about low end, tough stuff. Multistrada. Suspension is pretty soft. It's pretty nice. As for seating position, well, you're just sitting. It has got forward controls, but they're not crazy forward. Well, they have these huge floorboards for your feet, which is, you have quite a bit of different positions you can put. The controls are actually forward. Brakes are pretty good. It's got big ass brakes in the front, 300 something millimeters. It's a big bike. It's nearly 800 pounds, 777. So yeah, one of the guys up there, he wasn't comfortable with the he says he has a 1200cc bike, and he says, which one's 1200, which one? I don't want to drive an 1800. And I didn't really understand what he was going on about. But I think it was because he was short, and he thought because of the bigger engine, maybe. I don't know, older guy. I don't know what he was anyway. Actually, the salesman that sold me my BMW works here now. He was working at Monette in Laval. Yeah, this thing is not about really revving past the 4,000, I think. But it's got some power. Peak torque is at 3,000, like I said, so that's pretty low for. It's pretty low. The clutch engagement is like really close to the bars, like right at the beginning. Yeah, the ride is much softer than the bobber, but this has a little bit more suspension travel. Right? This has the stock exhaust and everything. There's no. This one has no accessories actually. I mean, besides the lack of wind protection, this has a 20-liter tank. So you have a bit more range on this. Nice having proper mirrors. Those underslung mirrors are a little bit not to my liking. There's a nice thump, 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 thump when you're stopped. I'm really actually happy that I don't try that many cruisers, because typically I'll try the naked bike or the touring bike if they have like a bunch of different ones. And since Indian is just, I mean, they're gonna have that flat tracker thing, kind of racy Scout, but besides that, I mean, it's cruisers. So, and cruisers are super popular. I don't know about where you are, but here in Montreal, they're more 80% of the bikes that I see are some sort of cruiser. So. Yeah, there's some old timers on this demo. Well, it doesn't really feel like it's heavy, but the thing with these bikes is the seats are fairly low, so you could get your feet down. Unlike, I don't know, some of the adventure bikes, which are, you know, mid 600 pounds. And if you can only get the balls of your feet, I mean, I don't feel I feel fine with this. I mean, I wouldn't want to go past the point of no return there. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's a bit of an agricultural gearbox, very clunky, but this is the traditional Indian. He's blocking the road, otherwise people, sometimes people are nice. They see that you're a big gang. And slow speed corner. It's fine. The front is heavy. You hear it clunk, clunk. But this is not a racing bike. Oh, this is super comfy. I like the riding position. I like that I can move my feet. These footboards are like, they look like 18 inches. Cause, maybe like 16 inches. I got size 13 feet, which is like 13 inches. I kind of look funny in a Dainese sporty jacket on this type of bike. I do feel a bit of heat off on my legs a little bit, but it's not so bad. My naughty bits aren't roasting. Which is good. I'm just basically leaving it third. Oh, this is quite the cruising machine. As for fit and finish, it's not bad. This turn signal button's a tiny bit flimsy. Not really gonna have a chance to try out the cruise control, but it's ride by wire, so it's I'm sure it works fine. I am thirsty. Fuel gauge, yeah, nice. And it's got it's got all the trip meters and stuff. Engine temp, volts. Average fuel range says 317. Well, 20-liter tank. That's a good sized tank. So it's a full tank, 317. That's pretty good. I find 300 is you can do around 300 easily, then that's a pretty good range, because yeah, it's easy to skip neutral. Yeah, my feet are flat on the ground, so this must be around a 31 inch height. Yeah, this is really comfortable. I don't think the front suspension's adjustable. I'm pretty sure you can do preload on the back. There's tons of aftermarket for these bikes, so you could... Oh, excuse me. You could set it up as much as you want. This is so there is no fairing, so I don't know about you know, long distance comfort and stuff, but the rest of the bike is completely fine. So we're just cruising here. That bobber really has nice, sound. Oh, my windscreen is fairly dirty. So I come on, guys. You're holding up. Today is a beautiful day, but we haven't had rain in, besides little, very isolated thunderstorms. We haven't had, like, good rain that will sink in for a couple months at least. So everything is dry. Can't really see it here, but so I did take my look at the traffic. Holy guacamole. So we're gonna have the next 4 days. So today's Saturday. The next 4 days is rain, with 10 to 20 millimeters every day, so that's going to be awesome. Not for me, I'd be taking the train to work, but I still took my car today to this because my shoulder is still a bit messed up, and it was an hour and a half drive. So probably gonna leave my visor up. It's well, the brakes are good, not that we're going fast or anything, but that old guy in the convertible wasn't too happy, and we blocked the road. pretty manageable in the low speed corner. Oh, we're gonna get some speed here. Whew, get some air. Yeah, these floorboards are nice. No pressure point on your yeah, you're on the phone. That's good, buddy. I don't know what else to say about this bike. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's bare bones. But there's a crap ton of accessories directly from Indian that you can get, so you could really customize it. The exhaust is pretty quiet. Nice day for a golf. Play some golf if you're into that kind of torture. Now this is... oh. So this competes with all the Harleys and any cruiser. Fifth gear, 70. 1500 RPM. Yeah, it's good. Or good enough. I don't get cruising 6. And at cruising below 2,000, you could hardly even feel the engine thumping. So it's pretty. It's a big ass engine. 1800 cc's is one of the bigger ones. And then this is the satin paint. I don't know how easy, I don't know if you need special soap or something that it doesn't go shiny if you rub it too much. But this is a pretty clean cockpit. You know, there's all the wires are hidden pretty much, just one, you know. It's I don't get too much of a sales pitch. I mean, I know that's why they do this, but I'm getting vibration in the throttle. In the hand grip feels loose a bit. I could kind of feel the heat a bit, but Yeah, that bobber with that stage 1 that I try, you can hear him. That's nice sound. This has a full fender cover. It's really a nice looking bike, and I love the vintage, the little Indian that lights up on the front fender. That's pretty good. I think it's a cool retro look. But a lot of the Indians have that retro. I mean, even the Scout, you could tart it up with frills and tassels and frilly leather bags. Yeah, the suspension is pretty nice. Well, compared to the bobber. Yeah, that Scout is these are all nice looking bikes. I mean, I'm not a fan of the big frilly leather saddlebags and all that, for sure. But horses, hello. 21,000 is not that bad for this type of bike. That's Canadian dollars, of course. What an absolutely beautiful day. Maybe I should have brought my motor. I should have ridden, but yeah, what I should have done is taken my bike and planned the long way home. Yeah, this seat is like... That's the stock seat. I'm impressed. The Scout I drove had an optional seat, and one of the sales guys that I know, he said, oh, the stock seat's a bit more comfortable. This thing handles like a dream. I mean, for a cruiser, it's... I've seen some reviews of various models like this, people scraping, like really riding them hard, which obviously in a group like this, we're not... I wish they had press bikes in Canada, because then you could really, you know, have a bike for like, you know, a few days, and you could really get a better impression of its capabilities, like every day. Like these, you know, take it on the roads that you know. Look at all the rivers around here. They're like low. So, I don't know what else to say about this bike. I think if you're in the market for a big cruiser, this you should definitely look at this. I might even buy a nice Indian retro shirt upstairs because they're just sexy. They have a nice gear, and even their showroom is like not your typical motorcycle showroom. Ooh, yeah, baby. Yeah, she hustles, man. Yeah, there's a little bit of oomph when you pass 3,000 to like 5,000. That seems to be the, well, peak torque is 3,000, so at 100, 100 you're at like just over 2,000 RPM. That's yeah, it has some zip, and well, it should. If you have a big engine like that, it doesn't make a little bit of power. You're doing something wrong. It's really easy to ride at low speeds. I don't know what that grandpa there was doing. I am definitely going to stop for some lunch, and I need water. Yeah, like that, I'm not a big fan of the frills, the tassels on the handlebars. It's like, it's a bit much, but yeah, I'm not really feeling any heat or anything, though. That's good. Well, by my shoe a little bit, by my heel, because I have big feet, if I move my feet back all the way on the floorboards, there is an exhaust pipe, but it's got a big heat shield on it, though. It's not a real... Yeah, so again, 2018 Indian Chief Dark Horse. It's got ABS. It's cruise control. This is their basic big cruiser. Maybe a little bit above the basic one because it's a dark horse, so it's the special edition kind of. It's 21,000 Canadian. That's stock. 113 foot-pounds of torque at 3,000 RPM. 1.8 liter engine, 111 cubic inches, I think. The Thunderstroke, air cooled. Nothing fancy about the engine. Fuel injection, ride-by-wire. 777 pounds fueled. 20-liter tank. From what the computer says, you get about 320 kilometers range. The tank is pretty much full, so around 300 kilometers. So decent. There's zero wind protection. That part's obvious. Ample power in any gear, and when you bring her above 3,000, it's between 3 and 5. It's real. It's stable. I mean, it's a long bike. This thing's like, with the rake like that, it's pretty stable, and even turning was fine. It handles fine for something this size. You don't really feel the weight. Where you feel the weight is when you're on the highway and there's some of these little gusts of wind, and you don't feel it. There's no nasty vibration. Can you feel a bit of the engine? Yeah, sure, but yeah, I get to see, look, you can see the back of the bobber there. It's pretty nice. So, I think that's that about this bike. I mean, I don't know what more there is to say about it. I'll say thanks again to Matthias Marine Sports. That's the dealer here. And thanks to Indian Canada, because as you can see from the truck that was in the video, these are all bikes from Indian Canada. So big thanks to everyone. If you live in this area, I'd give them a call. They sell KTM and Kawasaki as well. They still have a couple of Victory as well. I don't know what this guy doing. A shortcut in front guy. When you have a bunch of 70-year-olds trying to park bikes, what do you get? Alright, so thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave your comments. Thanks.